then with that, we throw it over to Randy with the college football portion of the rundown.
Well, before we get into that, I wanted to compliment you on your T-shirt today. You are wearing a throwback Detroit Drive T-shirt from the Arena Football League. Very nice. They were around in the 80s and early 90s. They won 4 Arena Bowl titles. It's a very nice shirt. Lots of nice powder
and
blue.
you're wearing, I guess I have to throw the compliment back. I mean, your old shirt with several holes in it.
I've worn
Canton
it for
Bulldogs.
a long time. I've had it for a long time.
Yeah.
But it adds to the flavor. I mean, because with Canton Bulldogs, NFL champs in 1922 and 23, I think, whatever it says here.
He's got to read his shirt to know. Mr. History guy over there.
Yeah, 22 and 23. But, original member of the NFL from 1920. I've had this for a long time. Bought it at the gift shop at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I've just worn the heck out of it. That's why there's holes in the armpits and the neck skin trade. But yeah.
Thank you. I might as well just get you a T-shirt that says Transition Ruiner. Okay, so anyway, back to Randy with the college football scores of the week.
All right, we're going to start at the FBS level. This was week 1, technically, even though last week was week 0 and games were played. But at the FBS level, it was number 1 Alabama over number 14 Miami by the score of 44-13.
Not even a contest. Man, I thought this might be a little better of a game, but Alabama showed why they're consistently the number 1 program in the country.
In a little bit closer game, number 2 Oklahoma over Tulane, 40-35.
Yes.
An upset, number 5 Georgia over number 3 Clemson, 10-3.
What a game this was. The only touchdown was a very, what was it, like a 80-yard interception. It was like a big interception, I thought. But yeah, no offensive scoring during the game, I believe. Or, no offensive scores other than the 2 field goals. But, man, oh, man, what a defensive battle this game was. And to watch Clemson lose at home in this first big game was something else. And then I don't know if you saw Trevor Lawrence had to wear Georgia Bulldog stuff to the Jaguars practice facility because he lost a bet.
I did not see that.
Yeah, but it was pretty funny. Him just decked out in Georgia Bulldog stuff. Pretty good.
7 sacks by Georgia in that game. And that helps beat the number 3 team in the country.
Hey, if anything, if you're a Clemson fan, I'd rest easy knowing that defense is still that good and that loss will probably get made up for at some point maybe this season. Like they're not out of the playoff just because of this one big loss at the beginning of the year. Yeah. That defense will probably keep them in a lot of games. That offense just needs to get going.
Yeah. All right, number 4 Ohio State beat Minnesota 45-31. I watched a little bit of this game.
This was so close for a while there, and then
back and forth.
Ohio State just pulled it out, and man, like that freshman quarterback, was it a freshman quarterback they started?
I think so.
But he did not start off great, but man, when they got going, it was like 60-yard touchdown pass, 70-yard touchdown. It was just long touchdown plays for Ohio State. It just shows that offense has got some firepower to it. But Minnesota hung in there for a while, but Ohio State was too much. At some point, and you felt bad. There was one big call at the end of the game that Minnesota player got targeted, but they said the guy fumbled the ball. They didn't call targeting. Then they gave the ball back to Ohio State, and I was like, wow, if they would have called that a targeting call, it would have been Minnesota's ball there to at least try to go down and make it a closer game. But man, I thought the refs screwed that one up. I'm not saying Minnesota would have won. Right. I think it could have been a little closer. That score would have been a little more respectable, but it's a 2 possession win for Ohio State there. But shoot, Ohio State again showing how good they are.
Yeah, I thought Ohio State was going to take a step back this year with a new quarterback.
They just reload.
No. The good teams do that. They just, next man up. Whatever.
Well, shoot, I think Ohio State's got 4 or 5 5-star quarterbacks on their roster alone.
That's
so,
right, they do. Yeah.
So good luck not reloading.
Yep. All right, it was number 9 Notre Dame over Florida State, 41-38 in overtime.
What a game!
We were watching this game.
Yep.
And Notre Dame was way ahead.
It was like
quite a while.
It was like 38-20.
And I went to bed.
And you were like, if you want to stay and watch it,
let me know
fine.
what the score is.
And I kind of did the same thing. I was like, going into the fourth quarter, they're down by 18. That might be hard to come back from. So I went, and I think I went and did some stuff, and then I checked my phone, and I was like, they're about to go into overtime.
18 unanswered points.
18 unanswered
in the fourth quarter to force overtime.
Yep, and then Notre Dame was able to get away with one there in overtime, that field goal at the end, because Florida State missed a 50-yard field goal, but then they challenged the play to get the ball moved, so they it was a shorter field goal by like 12 yards, and then the guy missed it. So heartbreaking for Florida State. And then Notre Dame just goes out and kicks the winning field goal. And then I believe their quarterback broke a first game record for passing yards. First game of the season. So, and I think the offensive coordinator for for Notre Dame now was the previous record holder of the first game with the most passing yards or something. So that was kind of a cool story they followed during the game.
And then it was Michigan over our beloved Western Michigan, 47-14. We watched this pretty much whole game
at your son-in-law's house.
Yeah,
who's a big Michigan fan.
Yeah,
and who I tried talking smack to, and
you were talking smack for about the first 5 minutes, and then you shut up.
I think from the moment I walked in the door, just clapping and shouting for Western. And then we watched Western score, and it was 7-7. It was like, hey, we're going to have a ball game.
Yep.
And Michigan had a ball game. I don't think Western had a ball game, but that was a tough one.
Yeah. And I've got tickets to see Western Michigan this Friday night. I know you're going to be out of town.
A couple games this year.
Yeah, we got a couple of games coming up in the next couple weeks. So looking forward to those home games. But, I wish Western had made a little bit better showing. I think they were supposed. I heard that they were supposed to be number 2 in the MAC conference this year.
Well, that's what people were projecting.
Yeah, but I mean, they had a good year last year, and hopefully they have another good year this year. All right, moving on to some upsets this week. It was Virginia Tech beating number 10 North Carolina 17-10. UCLA over number 16 LSU 38-27. Montana upsets number 20 Washington 13-7. Northern Illinois, a MAC school, over Georgia Tech 22-21. They squeaked by that one, but hey, a win's a win. And then the Charlotte 49ers over Duke 31-28. This was the first win over a Power 5 conference school in the program history. I was there a few years ago when they brought football back to Charlotte, and they've come a long way in that time. They started out as an FCS team for a couple of years, and they moved up to FBS, and here they get their first win. So congratulations to the Charlotte 49ers for a great win in their program history. I didn't see any highlights. All I saw was a highlight of the students rushing the field after the game. So great day down there in Charlotte. All right, blowouts and shutouts. It was Buffalo over Wagner 69-7. Rutgers over Temple, 61-14. Auburn over Akron, another MAC school, 60-10. Nebraska over Fordham, 52-7. Boston College shutout Colgate, 51-0. And UAB shutout Jacksonville State, 31-0. Man, I like to highlight the military academies, since I spent so much time in the military myself. So it was Army over Georgia State, 43-10. Air Force, my beloved Air Force, over Lafayette, 35-14, and it was Marshall defeating Navy, 49-3. Otherwise, we'd have had a trifecta of wins. Oh, I'm sorry, 49-7. Would have been all three naval military academies winning, but it wasn't to be this week. All right, we're going to spotlight some of the lower level football teams. At the FCS level, Presbyterian over an NAIA school, St. Andrews, 84-43. Presbyterian Blue Hose quarterback Ren Heffley, write that name down, you may want to remember this one, who was a transfer from the University of Michigan, by the way, completed 38 of 50 passes for 538 yards and 10 touchdowns.
That's right. You heard that right. 538 yards and 10 touchdowns for an FCS record. When I saw that, I was like, I had to do a double take. I was like, does that really say 10 touchdowns? Yeah. Does that really say 38 yards?
And they took him out after he scored his first touchdown in the fourth quarter. They took him out and they put the backup in after that.
Well, I mean, when you already got the record.
He basically played 3 quarters and a play or two.
Dang.
Wow. Yeah, very interesting. This wasn't on TV, was it?
I'm not sure where it was broadcast.
I think we just saw a lot of highlights.
I just saw either ESPN or Sports Illustrated with the information. So.
Yeah, I think they had a video of all 10 touchdown passes that he threw. So, congratulations to Ren Heffley.
That's a heck of a record.
Yeah, the previous record was 9, so I'm not sure who held that record. But then in another game, Grambling State over Tennessee State, 16-10 in the second annual Black College Football Hall of Fame Classic at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. That's a big mouthful for you there. This was the first game for Tennessee State's new head coach, Eddie George, the former Heisman Trophy winner, and and played for the Tennessee Titans. So congratulations on getting your first game in, but now you need to get your first win. Neither one of these teams looked real good. I mean, I think they said that Grambling had played in the spring, and they didn't win any games in the spring. So still looking for that first win of this year.
Yep.
Moving on to the Division II level, it was Washburn over Lincoln of Missouri by the score of 76-12. And Fort Valley State shut out Tuskegee 30-0 in a game that was on ESPN. I caught just a few minutes of this game, but it was on ESPN. In Division III, Kalamazoo College over Oberlin 24-17, another school right here in Kalamazoo. And the Coast Guard Academy shut out the University of New England 16-0. At the NAIA level, it was number 3 Morningside of Iowa over Concordia of Nebraska 63-7. West Texas A&M shut out Texas College 73-0, and Mercer University shut out Point of Georgia 69-0. And finally, our beloved Snow College Badgers from the National Junior College Athletic Association demolished Gordon's Fine Arts and Sports Academy by the score of 85-0.
Yep.
Wow. I think they played them in the last game of their season last year. In the spring season. I don't know if it was spring season or last year, but yeah, the second time they played them, and they just demolished them both times. So I feel bad for them. And that is it for this week's World of Football Scoreboard.
Wow, it's a lot.
Yeah,
now with college back in the full swing, and with NFL next week, it's going to be even longer.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to follow highlight this many college teams every week. There's just so many games.
Knowing you, it'll be this many
Have
every
to be
week.
A little more selective.
Knowing you, it'll be this every week.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see.